Your club.
Your iClub?
Good morning. How are you guys doing?
Hello there.
Hello. Doing good.
This is Unity of Royal Oaks Youth Ministry coming to you this morning to say hi to you, to share a little bit of our thoughts, and let you know what we've been up to over the past 6 months. I hope you'll enjoy this conversation and that we leave you with a little bit of food for thought. So I'd like to start with Gracie. Gracie, I know over the years we've done a lot of different curriculums. And I know that for you, loving Harry Potter so completely, that one of your favorites that we've done is the curriculum studying the metaphysics of Harry Potter. So what is that? What does that even mean? What has been one of your favorite lessons, and how has it enhanced the magic of Harry Potter for you?
I think one of the most outstanding parts in Harry Potter for me especially was the developing of relationships throughout the whole storyline, because you see enemies and you see friends, but the pair of three, Hermione, Ron, and Harry, you see them risk their lives for each other, you see them bend over backwards for each other, and I feel like that's a very good lesson to have, is to really think of the people you hold close to you. And I think it's a very good way of portraying a good friendship, because you see them do so much over the course of 7 years. And it's like, it kind of makes you think of the friendships you have, and you're like, would I do this for this person like they would for them? And I think that's probably the most important part, was the friendships during that was my favorite lesson that I took away from Harry Potter.
One of my favorite teachings when we studied the metaphysics of it was that of the Dementors, and how we learned as we studied together that they are really the negative thoughts, right? Mm-hmm. They are that monkey mind, they're the negative forces in the world, which often are in our own head. Do you ever experience that in your life? Has that given you any strength or any tools to help you move through that after we learned a little bit more about that?
In the movies, you see the Dementors take away all sorts of happiness. You feel down, you feel depressed. And I feel like our minds, like you said, are a very key role in that. And I think really thinking about the Dementors and how it could be our own minds sometimes, or even other people, I feel like it's easy to try to find things to make you happy, or it's hard. But I feel like if you really want to get rid of the negative thoughts, like how they do Expecto Patronum, and get rid of that Dementor, I feel like when we put the happy thoughts back into our head, or try something that we love, I think that helps get away those negative thoughts.
It's kind of like an affirmation, isn't it, when they say that?
Yeah. Yes. Like, I love myself. Awesome. Like, you're doing great. I feel like you're putting more positivity back in your life instead of that negativity. So, yeah.
Thank you. Awesome. Way to go. High five. Emma, I know that you have shared with me many times that even at church, which many people would think is a safe place, right? And even within a Unity church, which is more open-minded than many and welcoming and accepting, you shared with me that you still felt uncomfortable. And being a part of the LGBT community, I know that you find more comfort there, but even in a church where that is welcomed and accepted, and there's many people from that community as well, you've shared with me that even then you've hesitated to really show up and let people see who you are. Can you tell me how our time together over the past, it's been more than 5 years now that we've been together in youth ministry, how has that helped you to come out a little bit, or to feel a little bit more safe?
I guess it's just, if for me, how it works is you like share personal experiences and I'll share it. And for me, in order for me to open up, is to trade emotions, I guess. It's not that easy for me to open up if I only give you everything and you don't really return it. Mm-hmm. I just feel like it's more comfortable when you know that somebody else does get it and they are listening to you instead of just pushing it away. Yeah. I've just, from you like being open about it and offering me like different places to like be with other people like me, that just gives me confidence to be myself. It kind of makes me feel better to know that if I ever really do get in a situation where I get picked on for it, that you'd most likely defend me. So
absolutely. Is there one thing that you would either wish people didn't do, and you can think church if you want, or out in the world, something that people say that makes it worse, or some way that people help make it easier?
I'll start off with like what they say. In my opinion, if you are nowhere near in this LGBTQ plus category, you should never say the F slur. It's not your place. You can't reclaim it. It's not yours to do. Um, it also, I am gender fluid and I go by she, him, they. And I have been in many cases where I'm in school and they don't know what to call me, so they'll call me an it. That makes me feel like I'm a literal animal in a cage and it's there for everybody to look at. And it's just really offensive. It's, if you don't know their pronouns, ask. You don't have to be
That,
rude about it. You can just be like, hey, what's your pronouns? I can't figure it out right now.
all of that. Thank you for saying that, because I think often people feel like if they don't know, they shouldn't say anything because they don't want to offend. There's some people that just say whatever they're thinking and probably shouldn't do that either without knowing that it's, in alignment. But thank you for inviting us to ask. I think that's so important because many of us don't understand. And thank you for having been open to me when I've asked you questions. You've been wonderful in explaining things that I didn't understand. So thank you for that. I appreciate you. And yeah, I got your back anytime. Erin, I have loved seeing you grow and your passion grow. And what I've seen mostly that means for you is helping others to feel good about themselves. I have seen you in every area, not just at church, but you shared about church, not only church, but school and your family and out in the world, how you just have this passion to help people feel like they're not alone, to feel good about themselves, to lift them up. Can you tell me why that's been important to you? And has church helped you anyway? Have you learned any new tools? How do you see that fits in with some of the principles and the unity messages, the oneness? Because I see you living our principles, whether or not you even mean to. Like it's been incredible. Can you talk a little bit about that?
All right. So the way that I see it is that it just plays a big part of my life, because normally when I'm around others and whatnot, that I don't really get that treatment back, no matter how nice I would treat said person. But I just know that everyone that I'm friends or I'm family with, everyone there, they all deserve to have someone to be kind with them. And sometimes that role isn't played by people. So, maybe I can go ahead and multitask a bit and, fill in that role until someone else feels comfortable of taking that role for me, or just go ahead and that said person wasn't there before, but now they are there now. And when it comes to church, it's helped me, but in a sense that would be different than expected. To me, it's just another place to help people as much as possible, which in my opinion, it helps me a lot as well. Although 9 times out of 10, I don't even realize it.
Yeah.
But it's just another place to help people for me. And if people are there to help me, that's cool and all, but I just prefer to, I'm not saying I prefer to keep, the helping role to myself. It's just, normally I'm just really used to that. It's just, ever since I was, 7 or 8, I've kind of focused on doing that kind of thing, because when I was, introduced to, people that had, depression, anxiety, et cetera, that would, when I was introduced to that and I was starting to get an idea of what that actually was, I would try to help as much as possible. And then so far, over and over, it just became like a routine, except for routine I would easily recognize when I was needed or I felt like this person needed help.
How does it help you? I mean, because if there's one thing I've learned is that as I give, it comes back to me. How has this passion and purpose that you've taken on, how has it helped you?
It helps me because I feel more accomplished, if you want to put it that way. Because normally when I do most things, it's not forced, but it feels what's the word? It feels like it's just a part of life in general, and the way that I recognize things that stand out of the ordinary, that are different than what you would normally expect. And when it's something that helps me the most, I'm bound to recognize that almost immediately. Sometimes it's more delayed than others, but still, helping others is kind of a way of making me feel good about myself, because I know at the end of the day that I did something good for someone else, no matter how bad I'm feeling. If I'm feeling sad or, lonely and whatnot, if I help someone that day, they'll even give the slightest bit to lighten up my night.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for that. I think that's powerful. I think it's one of the things taught the most since I can remember when I began in Unity is that connection and lifting others up, and that it really does help you. If you're struggling to lift someone else up, you can't help but be lifted up yourself. That's powerful. Thank you. Sue, it's been over a year now. I think I've lost track. Was it a year in July, I think, that maybe, or June, that you joined us? It's been over a year. And I've loved it. I love that you felt safe enough to come and ask if you could join us. And your presence has meant so much. Can you tell me or share with others, what has it been like? What has your experience been like being the adult amongst the youth ministry, even though I think we're kind of all youth? I mean, I'm pretty in touch with my inner child, as you've probably noticed over the year. But what has it done for you? What is your takeaway? What has your experience been?
Well, at first I was scared because in my life, I haven't had too much association with teenagers. Young people, yeah, but teenagers, no. And as I got to know the Brits especially, it really was helpful to learn about them and learn about those aspects of me that were that age that I have not ever been much in touch with. And it's affected me so much that even in my dreams, although I have a law degree, I'm often back in high school. So it may be hard for some people to go backward in order to go forward, but that longer trip is, I think, the best trip that you can take for yourself, and that's what I've been doing.
I've really enjoyed having you, and the kids and I have talked about it. I mean, you're just a part of the family, and I'm so grateful. I have to tell you all, I may have the role of the teacher or the youth director, but I have learned so much from you guys over the years. And not just the lessons I plan and bring to the table, because as you all know, sometimes they get thrown out because circumstances just say, yeah, we're not doing that. We're going to work on this today because apparently we're having this lesson. And it's been amazing to learn not only that it's safe to be seen, but that it's safe to see people and to give you guys that gift of, I see you. I see you, and I see what's going on inside of you, and I've seen you grow and mature and come into this place where you know that you get to be you. And I'm so grateful to hold space for that, to create a place for that. And I welcome you truly to share anytime, not just when I ask you to, or to speak about those challenges, because I really do feel like we're a family. And that's why it was important to me to make this video, so that the congregation, the other people, Reverend Rick, and so far beyond that, can really see that we're learning some big time lessons, and we're creating some serious bonds, and we're having fun, and we're learning to love, and we're learning to uplift. And sometimes we're learning that it's safe to scream and cry and not believe what everyone's telling us to believe, because we get to decide for ourselves. I'm not just proud, I feel really honored. So I thank you guys. And I thank everybody out there for hearing us and taking the time to listen to us. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.